for you to try to understand that thing. And so, in other words, comprehension means understanding. Comprehension means understanding. So, if you look at the word, this comprehension will mean understanding. This comprehension will mean understanding, and comprehend will also means to understand. To understand. So that is the difference. I'm trying to do this because when we get to the question time, or when we get to the situation where we want to answer the passages, you will realize that you need the word class of the word. You need the word class of the word. So this is comprehension. And so if you want a word that can replace comprehension, it should be understanding. And this is comprehend. If you need a word that can replace comprehend, you have to say to understand. And so that is a verb for verb, and then noun for noun. Now, we said in objective 2 that we are supposed to look at the types of comprehension. There are 2 types. First is reading comprehension, and the second type is listening comprehension. Let's look at reading comprehension. In fact, today's lesson is reading comprehension. And so we're going to look at the meaning of reading comprehension. Reading comprehension mainly deals with reading and interpreting words in phrases, in clauses, in sentences, in paragraphs, and in passages. So in passages, we are going to concentrate on the last one, which is the passages. That is not to say that we will have nothing to do with words. That is not to say we will have nothing to do with phrases. We will have nothing to do with clauses. All those things are going to be part of our comprehension. Then the second point is listening comprehension. And listening comprehension involves listening to and interpreting sounds. Listening to and interpreting sounds. Usually, the sounds of words composed in a piece. It may be live presentation, audio presentation, or video recording that is played back to the students. And so, by the definition of reading comprehension and listening comprehension, it tells that oral English is listening comprehension. And what we are doing now, that we will read a passage and write, is reading comprehension. That is why it titles it reading comprehension, and the oral English is listening comprehension. Now let's get to the next point. That is the third objective. We're saying that the reading comprehension skills, we should be able to talk about reading comprehension skills. And if you remember, I mentioned 3 skills. I mentioned skimming, I mentioned scanning, and I mentioned close reading. So there are 3. Let's take the first one, which is skimming. Skimming basically is to run your eyes quickly over a text to discover the theme and to discover the central idea of that text. In fact, in skimming, speed is of essence. And what are you skimming for? You want to get a general idea of what you are reading. So that is skimming. So, for example, reading the whole passage under 2 minutes, or reading the whole passage in 3 minutes, should be described as skimming in examination. And because you are expected to read the passage in about 3 or 4 times to be able to answer it well. The first reading should be a quick one to give you the general impression of what you are reading. And so we expect that skimming will be part of the student's reading skill, so that he can quickly run his eyes through the whole passage and get a central idea. That is the theme. Now let's come to the second point, which is the scanning. The scanning is also reading quickly and then getting specific information. Please, let's understand it. The first one, we said you are reading quickly to get the general idea. That means the theme. That means the central idea, what the passage is about. In talking about scanning, we are concentrating on specific information. For example, dates. For example, a quotation. And so your eyes are fixed on that quotation alone and nothing else. Interestingly, in scanning, when you get that information you're looking for example, the pastor tells you to read Deuteronomy 14:26, and you open you get to Deuteronomy 14:26, you ignore all the other books and you go to Deuteronomy, and in Deuteronomy you are picking only 14 and what? 26. And that is where it tells you that when you get money, pay your tithes, do everything that you're supposed to do with that money you've got, and assemble your family, enjoy with them, buy drinks, buy whatever your soul desires, and enjoy with them. That is Deuteronomy 14:26. And that one, scanning, can get you to that. Then the third point of reading strategy or reading skill is the close reading. Close reading is also described in English language as study reading. Close reading is study reading. Why have we called that one study reading? In that case, you need serious concentration. You are looking for everything that can be asked. And so in that case, you are not rushing, you are not reading quickly, you are taking your time to bring out both denotation and connotation. When I talk about denotation, I'm talking about the ordinary definitions of words and expressions, and connotations are the implications, what goes behind the word. And that one, the student should be able to note the difference, so that denotation isn't going to be the same as connotation. In comprehension, because they want you to understand the passage thoroughly and completely, it is expected that you will fix your eyes on both denotation and connotation, so that if there is any hidden information, for example, idiomatic expressions, for example, those phrasal verbs, you should be able to pick them and get their meanings. So that is it for the types of reading skills. Now let's get to the reading stages. The reading stages, I told you that they are going to be three. The first one is the pre-reading stage. Every student knows that in WAS or WAS, every student is aware that in the examination, WAEC has a particular pattern of questioning. And so by that, the student knows that once comprehension passage is put in front of me, these are the type of questions that I'm supposed to answer. And that is the pre-reading stage. Before he reads the passage, he has an idea. He fixes his mind on something. And so he goes into the comprehension reading with set of ideas already.